Before you say toodaloo off of shit that keep popping up on your Google News, ain't been in the case since I flew the coop. I was on a Colson Ave with my mama, numbers started going through the roof. Bentley with the B inside the wings like whoop-de-woos, spinning downtown like hula hoops. Is it the fair skin or the Jewish roots? Why people wanna not see me on top of the mountain like I do the do? Drake is 39 years old. Drake is 1 year away from being 40 years old. I listened to all 3 of the albums that he released on Friday. First of all, 2 of the 3 albums was just dog shit, right? I'm pretty sure he did it to get out of his record label. I want to say he tried to pull a Frank Ocean, but the difference between Drake and Frank Ocean is Frank Ocean knows how to make good music. So when Frank Ocean does it, you have like 2 to 3 albums that you can really listen back to. When Drake does it, you have 2 albums worth of bullshit and then a 3rd album that's supposed to be the major rollout that's just like mid. I really listened to the entirety of the Iceman album and overall it was so lackluster. It wasn't a bad album, but it wasn't a good one. And for someone at Drake's caliber of stardom, I feel like having a mid project is insane. Drake is to the rap game what Call of Duty is to the video game industry. They release damn near every year. It's kind of lackluster. It's the same bullshit over and over again with little to no innovation, little to no change. I think my biggest issue with Drake as an artist and as a person is the fact that he has not matured. Drake has not matured as an artist in the past 20 fucking years. If anything, he's devolved if you really look at it. I feel like his earlier work had drive, ambition. He kind of wanted to be something and he was trying to prove himself. And even the stuff he rapped about was kind of relatable from a young 20-something, you know? I, as a 24-year-old man, can kind of understand the stuff that Drake is talking about in his earlier projects. You know, the subject matter is relatable, you know, the heartbreak, the trying to get your money up. But Drake is 39 years old. He's pushing, I can't even say he's pushing 40. He is at 40's doorstep. He is 1 year away from, he's turning 40 this year. In October, I want to say, he's turning 40 this year. Holy fuck. And this is the type of shit that we're talking about. He's not over the Kendrick beef. He's still bitching and crying about shit. The song is called Make Them Remember, Make Them Cry. The song material is so fucking childish. He's talking about the same dumbass talking points he's been talking about, bro. Even the titles are fucking childish. Make them remember, make them cry. Like he's trying to get back at somebody like a little schoolgirl that got slighted 5 months ago. I thought he would have moved on from that shit. At the very least, let that shit go. But he's still on this shit. When you compare the big 3 to each other, and I don't want to bring up Kendrick in this, but it's kind of hard to talk about Drake at this point without talking about Kendrick. I feel like if you compare early Kendrick and early J. Cole, they have both matured in their artistry so much in the past decade or 2. I feel like Kendrick Lamar would not make another To Pimp a Butterfly, not because he couldn't do it, but because he's matured past that. I feel like J. Cole wouldn't do early J. Cole music. Again, not because he can't do it. I feel like he's just grown that much as a person. Put a finger in the sky if you want it. Now put a finger in the sky if you want it. Now put a finger in the sky. Hey, shout out to J. Cole, low key. But okay, I'm getting sidetracked. And on that same exact note, I feel like Drake couldn't create earlier Drake tracks. And it's not because he doesn't want to or whatever, or he's matured as a person. I don't know if it's the ghostwriters or if it's just his lack of motivation or his lack of ambition, or maybe he's become too famous to give a fuck. But the ambition and the drive and the heart that he had in the earlier tracks is dead, gone, dead as hell. Drake could never create another Over or Headlines or Passion Fruit. These tracks are classics. I don't care how much you hate Drake. Drake has classics, but I don't think Drake could replicate what he did in the past. And that's a problem. Not only has he not matured past it, but also I feel like his talent has gone down. I feel like he makes the same type of music. He doesn't push the envelope. He doesn't try anything new. Again, he's like the Call of Duty of the rap game. And even when you compare Drake to people like Future or 21, artists like Future are very one track. They get in, do their thing, get out. Future is like Godzilla, right? You don't expect him to change or mature or get better. You don't want him to. He comes in, fucks shit up, does the laser blast, and leaves. Drake does not fit this category at all because he can't do what Future does. Right now, I feel like he's trying to be in the same area as Future, but Future The Future is going to dog walk him every single time. He lacks the depth of Kendrick and J. Cole, but he lacks the one-track talent of Future. Drake is in this weird state of limbo where he's just kind of creating mid-dog shit. And it sucks because I used to be a Drake fan, like a heavy Drake fan. I think I still am a Drake fan. This is kind of why I even listened to the album to begin with. I remember when I was 8 years old, I was watching a Lego Ninjago edit. It was like they were showing out the new products for the summer, and they had like the fire temple being shown and shit. And on the backdrop of that video, they were playing Drake's Over. And the intro to that song changed my fucking life. The moment I clicked on that video and you hear the that's don't even get me started. My little 8-year-old self was geeked, bro. I was in shock. My pupils dilated. I said, what is this symphony? And at that point, I started really listening to Drake because he's been doing this shit since early 2000s, bro. When I tell you I was a Drake fan, bro, I was a Drake fan. So seeing this fall from whatever the I can't even call it grace. Seeing this great decline from Drake is so disappointing. I was really hoping that this Iceman album would have been something different. I thought it would have been Drake's Mr. Morale. You know, like he does some introspection, he kind of thinks about what happens, he does some groundwork on his personality. But in my opinion, this was like the final nail in the coffin for me. Because have you ever had an experience when someone has done you wrong, or they've slighted you or said something crazy to you, they come and they apologize and everything is all good, but then in the future they do or say something that not only lets you know that, for one, they didn't actually give a fuck about the apology, they didn't mean that shit, and secondly, they didn't even understand what they did wrong to begin with. When I'm listening to some of these tracks and he starts talking and bitching about, oh well, I don't remember Kendrick doing numbers, oh, they hate me because I'm light-skinned and I'm Jewish, oh wee, they want me dead because I'm light-skinned and Jewish, oh wee. Not only did you not get the fucking point of what Kendrick was trying to say, but you did no introspection that entire year. It's been almost a year since the whole beef thing happened and Not Like Us came out, and you didn't do any introspection at all. You really just sat there for a whole fucking year and just did some bullshit. What were you doing? What the fuck were you doing this whole time? Like, and that's my point. Drake has not grown in years. You know, honest to God, there's probably some Drake riders out there that's just gonna bounce on, just bit on it, twerk on it, bow, bow, bow. They don't give a fuck about the art at all. But as somebody who genuinely wanted to see Drake win, this was so disappointing, bro. I don't really give a fuck. I don't fucking know Drake. Drake doesn't know me. At the end of the day, the album was mid. The album's like a solid 5, and that's a multi-million-dollar label. That's pathetic, bro. Is Drake gonna do better in the future? Probably fucking not. Of course, he's still gonna do numbers and shit. But at this point, I genuinely wonder, did Drake ever give a fuck about the music? Like, at all? Did Drake actually, like, want to be some shit? Or was he just trying to be rich and famous? Because that's one thing. If that's all you wanted, you did it. But at this point, I feel like anyone who was a fan of Drake for the art, everyone who was fans of Drake's earlier work, they're probably gone by now. Like I said, that album was lackluster as fuck. You can listen to it if you want to. I wouldn't waste my time, though. Honestly, if Drake doesn't give a fuck about his music, why should you?